We can access a single character of a string using a string index address. Let's take a look at the image in the screen here, and it represents a string, the word Alton. The name Alton broken down by each character in the string, and below each of the characters is a number, which is the index for each of the characters. So we have the first character with index 0, A capital, and then the second character is index 1. Counting from 0 is a common way that computers do calculations. So it's sometimes to be aware of, and we'll see that in several pieces of code. Let's go ahead and look at the code below. And we see that we are going to use the student named Alton, and we are going to access that student name and then follow that with square brackets with the index number inside. That's the way that we can call that the first representation of this box, that first index, and then get the first character back. So we're going to get the first character at index 0 by running that, and so that will give us index 0, A capital, and index 3 will be the fourth character, because we start at 0, 1, 2, 3. That's 4 characters, and we get the O. So let's run the code. And we see, as expected, we bring back the characters with the indexes 0 through 4 and gives us 5 characters back. In this next example, we have the student named Jean, and that's the student name, and we use that student underscore name variable here, and we call the first index item with the square brackets. That should return the letter J capital. Convert that to a lowercase and see if it's equal to, which it will not be. Then we'll go to elif statement, and it will check if the is equal to lowercase j, and since we've converted it to lowercase letter, that will be correct. And we'll print winner name starts with J capital. So we have the two winners if it's either starts with A capital or J capital, and then the else statement is not a match. So let's run that code, and we say winner starts with J. So we can change that to get the first case by changing that to Alton. And then we see that did indeed run that first if statement, and to get to the else case we need to use something without an A or J capitals in the first position. So I'll go to Colette, and we see not a match. So we can also look at an example of a 6-letter strings, Tobias. What is the last index? In a 6-letter string, and so I put in 6 to check that, and I got an index error with that says the string is out of range. We recall that we always start at 0, and so to count to 6 would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that would be my 6th letter. And so if I run that again, I see that last letter has shown up as expected. Remember that the first character in a string has index of 0. Now we can address individual characters in a string from the last character counting backwards using a negative index address. This image on the screen will also help us visualize the indexes counting from 0 and using a negative index, which start at the last character with -1. J in the first position is at index 0, and the letter A at the last position is at index 4. Or we can use negative indexing and see that the J is -5 because the A position, the last letter is -1. So we count back from the -2, -3,